Once upon a time, in a busy city, there lived a man named Marcus. Marcus was like many of us, caught in the rush of life, facing problems at work, stress at home, and the constant noise of the world around him. He often felt overwhelmed, as if life was pushing him in every direction. One day, while walking through the city park, he noticed an old man sitting calmly on a bench. The old man had a quiet strength about him, a sense of peace that Marcus couldn't understand. Curious, Marcus sat beside him and asked, "How do you stay so calm in such a chaotic world?" The old man smiled and said, "I practice Stoicism." Marcus had heard the word before, but didn't truly understand it. The old man explained that Stoicism was not about suppressing emotions or pretending life was perfect. It was about understanding what we can control and what we cannot. It was about finding strength within ourselves, no matter what happened outside. Intrigued, Marcus asked the old man to teach him. What followed was a journey that changed Marcus' life forever. The first lesson was about control. The old man told Marcus to imagine life as a ship on the ocean. Some things, like the wind and the waves, were beyond the sailor's control. But the sailor could control the sails, the rudder, and his own actions. In the same way, Marcus couldn't control traffic, other people's opinions, or unexpected problems. But he could control his reactions, his efforts, and his attitude. That night, Marcus wrote in his journal, "I will focus only on what I can control." The next day, Marcus was stuck in terrible traffic. Normally, he would shout and pound the steering wheel, stressed about being late. But remembering the lesson, he took a deep breath. He couldn't move the cars ahead, but he could choose not to let anger control him. Instead, he listened to calming music and accepted the delay. To his surprise, he arrived at work in a better mood than usual. The second lesson was about perception. The old man told Marcus that suffering often comes not from events themselves, but from how we see them. He gave an example. If someone insulted Marcus, he could choose to see it as a personal attack or as a reflection of the other person's struggles. Marcus realized that many of his problems were made worse by his own thoughts. That evening, his boss criticized his work. Normally, Marcus would have felt humiliated and defensive. But this time, he paused. Instead of assuming his boss hated him, he considered that the criticism might help him improve. He thanked his boss for the feedback, and later revised his work carefully. His boss noticed the change and praised his attitude. The third lesson was about adversity. The old man said, "Difficulties are not obstacles, but opportunities to grow." He explained that just as fire tempers steel, challenges strengthen character. Marcus was skeptical but decided to test it. A few days later, his project at work failed. Instead of falling into despair, he asked himself, "What can I learn from this?" He analyzed his mistakes, talked to colleagues for advice, and used the failure as a lesson. Over time, his skills improved because he stopped fearing failure and started embracing it as a teacher. The fourth lesson was about gratitude. The old man encouraged Marcus to reflect each night on 3 things he was grateful for. At first, Marcus struggled. On bad days, it felt like there was nothing to appreciate. But he persisted. Even small things, a warm meal, a kind word from a friend, the sunset, became reasons for gratitude. Over time, Marcus noticed his mood improving. He was less focused on what he lacked and more aware of the good in his life. The fifth lesson was about mortality. The old man reminded Marcus that life was short and unpredictable. Instead of fearing this truth, Marcus learned to use it as motivation. He asked himself, if today were my last day, would I be proud of how I lived? This question helped him let go of petty arguments, spend more time with loved ones, and take action on his dreams instead of waiting for someday. Months passed and Marcus changed. He was not perfect. He still felt anger, fear, and stress, but he no longer let these emotions rule him. He had tools to navigate life's storms with inner strength. One day, a colleague asked him, "How do you stay so calm under pressure?" Marcus smiled, just as the old man had, and said, "I practice Stoicism." The story of Marcus teaches us that Stoicism is not just philosophy for ancient times. It is a way of living here and now. It does not promise a life without pain, but it offers a way to endure pain with dignity. It does not remove all problems, but it gives us the clarity to see which problems are worth our energy. Most importantly, it reminds us that true strength comes not from controlling the world, but from mastering ourselves. So, as you go through your days, remember Marcus' lessons. Focus on what you can control. Choose your perceptions wisely. See adversity as a chance to grow. Practice gratitude. And let the awareness of life's shortness inspire you to live well. These are not just ideas, they are tools. And like any tools, they only work if you use them. The path of Stoicism is not always easy, but it is always worth it. Because in the end, the only thing we truly own is our character. And that is where our inner strength lies.